the real cost of delaying a home purchase in today's real estate market. For many prospective buyers, waiting to purchase a home feels like a prudent financial decision. With mortgage rates fluctuating and headlines often highlighting uncertainty, it is understandable that some choose to pause. The expectation is that a better opportunity may be just around the corner. However, in real estate, timing is rarely that simple. Delaying a home purchase can carry measurable financial consequences that extend beyond the obvious. In markets like Pinellas County, where demand remains steady and supply is constrained in key areas, the cost of waiting often reveals itself over time rather than upfront. The impact on purchasing power. One of the most immediate effects of delaying a home purchase is the potential shift in purchasing power. Mortgage rates directly influence how much a buyer can afford. Even a modest increase can significantly raise monthly payments, reducing the price range within reach. While some buyers delay in hopes that rates will decline, there is no guarantee that future conditions will be more favorable. At the same time, home prices in many parts of Pinellas County have shown resilience. Coastal demand, limited land availability, and continued population growth contribute to price stability, even when broader market conditions fluctuate. If both home prices and interest rates rise during a waiting period, buyers may find themselves able to afford less than before. Lost time in building equity. Homeownership is a long-term financial strategy built on gradual equity accumulation. Each mortgage payment contributes to ownership, and over time, property values may appreciate. When buyers delay, they postpone this process. Instead of building equity, they continue making rent payments that do not generate long-term financial return. In Pinellas County, homeowners who entered the market several years ago have benefited from consistent value growth. While past performance does not predict future results, the principle remains: time in the market often matters more than timing the market. The cost of rising rents. For those who delay buying, renting often becomes the default alternative. Rental markets across the Tampa Bay region, including Pinellas County, have experienced periodic increases. While rent levels can vary, tenants typically face annual adjustments that can gradually raise housing costs over time. In contrast, homeowners with fixed-rate mortgages gain payment stability. Delaying a purchase may mean continued exposure to rent increases without the offsetting benefit of equity growth. Insurance and ownership costs in Florida. In Florida, the cost of homeownership includes more than just the purchase price and mortgage. Insurance premiums, property taxes, and maintenance expenses all factor into affordability. Some buyers delay purchases to monitor these costs, particularly as insurance rates have become a central concern. However, these expenses are not static. Insurance markets can shift, and property tax assessments may change. Waiting does not necessarily reduce these costs, and in some cases, they may rise alongside broader market trends. In Pinellas County, where coastal exposure and weather risks influence insurance availability and pricing, these factors remain relevant regardless of when a buyer enters the market. The challenge of market timing. Attempting to time the real estate market has long been a challenge for both buyers and investors. Housing markets are influenced by a combination of local and national factors, including employment trends, migration patterns, and lending conditions. These variables do not move in perfect alignment, making precise timing difficult. In Pinellas County, local demand drivers such as waterfront access, employment opportunities, and lifestyle appeal often sustain buyer interest, even during periods of broader uncertainty. Buyers waiting for a clear market bottom may find that conditions shift gradually rather than dramatically. By the time the market appears more favorable, competition may increase again. Lifestyle and stability considerations. Beyond financial metrics, housing decisions also affect lifestyle and long-term stability. Homeownership can provide a sense of permanence and control over living conditions. Fixed mortgage payments offer predictability, while renters may face changes in lease terms or property availability. For some households, delaying a purchase may align with personal or financial goals, such as improving credit or increasing savings. In those cases, waiting can be a strategic decision. However, when the delay is driven primarily by uncertainty about market conditions, the long-term implications should be carefully evaluated. A long-term perspective on homeownership. Real estate is generally best understood as a long-term investment rather than a short-term trade. Short-term fluctuations in interest rates or home prices often receive significant attention, but long-term ownership tends to smooth out these variations. Buyers who enter the market when they are financially prepared may benefit from stability and gradual value growth over time. In Pinellas County, where geographic constraints and sustained demand continue to influence housing availability, long-term ownership remains a central consideration for many buyers. The bottom line: delaying a home purchase can feel like a cautious approach, but it is not without cost. Changes in purchasing power, missed opportunities for equity growth, and continued rent payments all contribute to the financial impact of waiting. For buyers evaluating their options, the decision should be grounded in personal readiness, financial stability, and an understanding of local market dynamics rather than an attempt to predict short-term movements. In today's market, preparation and long-term perspective often carry more weight than perfect timing.